Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you've been following along, you probably know I'm on a journey trying to find building materials for our new homestead. I've been designing and building healthy homes since the 90s. My go-to insulation in the last few homes was always expanded polystyrene, and I could get the food grade one here that had no additives. But for my newest build, I'm no longer able to use this product. Food grade beads are not used in the industry anymore. They're now favoring fire retardant treated beads, and I'm after contacting about 15 manufacturers, even pleading with them to do me a custom food grade fire retardant free insulation, but they all denied. I dug a little deeper to see why, because fire code doesn't actually require it. It does require some additional protection though when using EPS. But at this point, I thought it's best to move on and find something new. So trying to choose insulation for our eco home build in Newfoundland is quite a challenge. And when I say a challenge, I mean a quest. An odyssey through dust, VOCs, binders, borates, and more late night research than I'd like to admit. But if you're chemically sensitive, or building for someone who is, insulation isn't just a building material. It's a health decision. So today I'm going to walk through the insulation options that I actually considered, the pros and the cons, why my final short list came down to Havelock wool and polyencapsulated VOC-free fiberglass, and why your choice might be different depending on your climate, your sensitivities, and your local building code. So why does insulation matter for chemically sensitive people? Because for most people, insulation is just insulation. Pink stuff, fluffy stuff, maybe some sprayed stuff, some stuff that looks like shredded cardboard. But for chemically sensitive folks, insulation is a source of VOCs, flame retardants, binders, dust, mold risks, and long-term off-gassing. And in a cold, wet climate like Newfoundland, moisture management and R values are everything as well. If your insulation traps moisture, or can't buffer humidity, you'll be inviting mold, and mold will be a nightmare. In my quest to find a healthy insulation that works for me, I actually stumbled across something really fascinating. An insulation that's been used historically for hundreds of years and surprisingly has a strong R value, is naturally mold resistant and fire resistant as well. And that's eelgrass, a type of seaweed. If eelgrass was commercially available, I would honestly be using it, and it would be my first choice. I did a little bit of research into it, and actually Newfoundland has tons of it, whole beaches full of it, but I simply don't have time to harvest it, dry it, and process it to insulate my entire home. If I was building a shed or a cabin, maybe, but not our full house, so it won't be happening for this build. It'd be great if someone here in Newfoundland wanted to start their own business making eelgrass insulation. So from here, I started casting the net much wider, and I mean wide. I looked at every type of insulation you can imagine. Spray foams, closed cell, open cell, soy-based, water-blown, rigid foams, EPS, XPS, polyiso, cementitious foams such as aircrete and things like that, cement-based, batt insulations, fiberglass, polyester, linens, wool, solid natural boards like cork and wood fiber, mineral wools, which is the common go-to for most people, high-end exotic materials like aerogels and glass foam, which is fantastic, but, you know, we're not millionaires. Full building systems, I looked at dowel laminated wood systems, insulated concrete forms, all different types of SIPs. I went through everything from the most common to the most experimental, from the cheapest to the, are you kidding me, price range. Through it all, I had to balance out three things. My health, because I'm chemically sensitive, and because we're DIYers as well, I will likely expose myself to the insulation in the future, so it's not as simple as place it behind a barrier and forget about it. Our climate, because Newfoundland is cold, wet, and unforgiving. Our budget, because I'm just not made of money. So the goal is I had to find an insulation that's clean, stable, low odor, low additive, safe for me, and suitable for our climate. After months of research, samples, emails, spreadsheets, my short list became Havelock wool, or CertainTeed fiberglass, which we would poly-encapsulate ourselves, because nobody's ever responded to me from JM who actually offers the poly-encapsulated insulation. So looking at the Havelock wool, the pros were that it's supposed to be excellent in moisture buffering, naturally mold resistant. It actually absorbs VOCs and has no VOCs of its own. It's low odor. It's forgiving in wet, cold climates. It's stable and long lasting. The only real cons I found is still a little bit more expensive than fiberglass. It does contain a small amount of boric acid. And, it's going to have to be shipped in, so I'm not sure of the time frame. CertainTeed fiberglass, doing a DIY poly-encapsulation. Pros in the CertainTeed: there's no formaldehyde, there's no VOCs, there's no borates, there's not even any lanolin. There's no flame retardants, and it's pretty inert. It's also affordable and readily available in Newfoundland. And doing some poly-encapsulating will eliminate the glass particle dust exposure. But the cons are fiberglass is quite an irritating substance, especially before encapsulation. It doesn't buffer moisture. It requires an excellent vapor barrier to control it in wet climates. Poly-encapsulating the actual material itself will be labor intensive, and I'll have to pay someone to do it. And this could pose some problems for us if it's not done correctly. So, I had to do a lot of research, and it's not something I would generally recommend for someone to do, and it's not suitable for all climates either. So I'm still keeping an eye out for our food grade EPS, because I do like the idea of the solid foam insulation. It's clean to handle, it's stable, and it has its place in the right wall assembly. But at the same time, I'm really taken by the idea of a natural fiber, like wool. I now have the actual Havelock sample here in my hands, so it's been pretty impressive so far. I had no detectable odors from it, no visible dust. It genuinely seems like it'll be a dream to work with. I showed it to my husband and he's like, wow, that's pretty neat. And after everything I've researched, tested, chased down, it feels like I'm finally getting close to an insulation that will actually fit all my health needs, my climate, and the reality of building on an island in the North Atlantic with pretty terrible weather. So stay tuned as we move ahead with the build. Make sure to check out hubby's channel, Buddy Who Does Stuff, because he just got himself a brand new drone he's pretty excited about, and we'll have some awesome aerial shots of the build and the property. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.